Hi, everybody. I've got a client who is wanting to share their soul rebirth journey experience with all of you today. And a soul rebirth journey is 60 minutes of energy work and wisdom that I'm going to be exploring. I'm just gonna jump into these goals here, these client goals, and I'm gonna get started on this soul rebirth journey. I'm so excited. Okay, so are you guys ready to hear these goals? And we're gonna find out what Spirit has to say. All right, the goals are to release negative energy and soul fragments, to get an energetic upgrade, and to find out if my higher self has been pimping out my astral body without my permission. We will definitely see if this is happening here. To have a clear connection to my heart, so I generate and share more love with myself and the world, and to help me with my relationships with others. Something along these lines would be great. Okay. This is some really interesting goals here. I'm going to get in the zone now. Thank you so much for sharing this openly on YouTube. Just wanted to say that. It's really awesome. I'm going to relax now and I want to get tuned into your energy field. And I do take everything you say seriously because some part of you is feeling this way, right? And so we need to understand why that is and what that looks like and go into bringing balance to all of this stuff. Okay. Okay, so I'm having an experience right now and I'm not able to explain what it is just yet. There's a lot of heaviness in the core. That's how I'm supposed to define it. I'm experiencing myself as a tree and in the core of my trunk, all the way from like the top before the branches, but it literally feels like my head, the top of my head, and then goes straight on down. And in the core of me, there's heaviness all the way straight down, and I'm a tree. But they also show me not a vibrant tree, but actually a tree that's been cut. And I'm just literally a stub coming out of the ground. But I'm telling you, this is like a magical forest. There's some cooler elements. There's heaviness. I feel this in the core of myself and it's dense and it feels dark and heavy. I see a tree. I also see a tree stump. But it's sort of magical. And the colors here are different shades of darker green and black, okay? And there's some golden flecks. All right. Wow, this energy is got all kinds of weird feelings to it. A lot of heaviness and density. There's density in the throat, density around the head, odd feelings around the ears. So let's just see what's going on here. Okay, a lot of internal anger, a lot of intensity, a lot of frustration deep down inside. So I'm just going to go into this black matter, okay? It's just dark. It's just black everywhere. And it's literally, I don't know, let's just say 2 inches thick. And I'm going to go into that and then see what's in this dark spot, okay? It's really long and it's just like the width of a ruler, like your everyday ruler, and it's black. And I'm just going into that spot here. You have a real nature side to you, I'll just say, because even when I go in this dark line, all right, it's there keeps being echoes and elements of magical forest energy. So that's kind of lingering here. I keep seeing what is it's an Adventure Time character, and I don't know, is she Forest Princess or something? But she kind of lives in the woods, and she kind of looks woodsy, and part of her body kind of resembles maybe leaves. There's something about her appearance that looks kind of like a forest girl, but she's made out of the forest too, and she's really in tune with her body and her moves and her ability to use her bow and her hunting skills and all of this stuff. And I keep seeing her echoing as I go into this dark place and this feeling of forest magic. Yeah, this dark place is not going to tell me a whole lot. It's not going to help me to feel, and it's not going to speak to me. So all I can do is stand here and just accept the way that it wants to look, and then just stand here and wait. So I'm going to do that. And my next inspiration is to open the space up, okay? Literally like stretching it out like a rubber band, but I'm going to let it stay stretched out. So I'm going to keep stretching it out. So what was like the width of a ruler, and it just sort of goes down the core of you, is what you say. I'm stretching it out now, okay? So we can see it. We're going to just see more of it, okay? So I'm just going to stretch this out. And it really doesn't want to self-reflect. It doesn't want to tell me because it doesn't want to tell itself. So it doesn't want to self-reflect. So I'm just going to throw some pink elephants and some drum beats and some clowns and some circus mice in here. I'm just gonna throw ideas into it and see how that makes it feel. Because the only way to get something like this to self-realize is to give it something to work with. Because it doesn't want to speak, it doesn't want to talk, it doesn't want to show me anything. It wants to be this. So I'm going to throw some wild ideas into it and see how it reacts. All right, it starts to gurgle like a hungry belly. But when the belly gurgles, it's like it was like, I ate a person. And when you put the pink elephants in here and all of this, my belly grumbles. It's like the person's body is moving on the inside. So there's like black, and then there's like a grumble and a body moving. That's what's happening here. You swallowed somebody whole. Like, you keep telling me I swallowed somebody whole. It's like Gollum, I eats it whole. There's something weird and sinister about it and silly at the same time. Okay. Okay, we're getting into it. We're getting there. We're getting more understanding. We're just going to let it. We just got to keep like kneading this dough and just see what else I can get out of it, okay? But there's something really tight around the throat region here. And there's something bothering the back of the mind, okay? When we look simply at this. So we're dealing with frequencies here, and frequencies communicate to me in this way. I translate the frequencies like this. So I got to keep putting more frequencies into the frequencies in order for the frequencies to create a response to me. So let's see what happens next here. I'm going into the belly. Get in my belly. I'm going to go in there. Oh yeah, there's more in here than we thought, you know. And it makes us feel sad. Who is us? I don't know. But it makes us feel sad. And that's how I'm supposed to say it. You swallowed more than you thought. You swallowed down more than you thought, and it makes you sad. It makes me feel sad too, because you and I are working together. And it's interesting because it almost looks like a family room. And there's like a carpet on the floor. It feels like there's people doing tasks, a couch, but it's quiet in here. There's like a baby crawling, and there's a mother knitting, and then there's somebody. There just seems to be people doing other things, but they're not seeing each other. They're not directly interacting with each other, and it's very silent in here. Okay, this is big. This is a big deal, and it's really wanting to release more. All right. So as I'm encouraging it to release more, it's sort of like don't want to, and the mental body is getting very heavy, and there's a lot of tension in the head because it's real. It's looking at this, and it's contemplating the meaning. What you know about this is more than I could ever know, because these are your frequencies. I'm translating them in my own unique style. So. But your subconscious understands and is self-realizing here. and it's creating a tension headache. Okay, so that's as far as I can go thus far with this. It's just, I'm in another layer, but it's sort of like clamming up, and it doesn't want to show me anything else right now. It doesn't want to release anything. It just needed me to see this, and that's it. Right now. That's all it's comfortable with right now. Not that it's uncomfortable. This is all it's able to do right now. So I'm just gonna hang out here. It's kind of like the black line. Like I had to stretch it out, and I had to throw some ingredients in to get it to communicate with me. It's kind of doing this again, but it's doing it with the family room, and now it's just not gonna say anything. So let's just throw a pink elephant in here. Like, yeah, an elephant in the room. Sure. The pink elephant is in the room. Let's just see if a pink elephant in the room can inspire us to start talking to each other. Because, like, there's an elephant in the room. You know, we don't want to acknowledge the elephant in the room. But I'm going to throw one in here and make it blatantly obvious that there is an elephant in the room here. Anger is coming from the heart portal, going backward, and then going into the back of the head. And then it's sort of like seething here in the mental body. But it's not that hardcore anger. Like it's angry, but it's not out of control, okay? And there's a lot of like discomfort and movements going on in the soul region here. So just let that happen. We haven't really, I mean, this is big deal stuff on the energy level, but what is it really saying to you? We're going to keep going deeper, and we're going to keep learning more, okay? All right, and this is, believe it or not, it doesn't want to admit it, but it has a lot of energy stored up in the emotional gut region. It just doesn't want to say that it swallowed the family room whole. Like it doesn't want to. But was that like a malicious thing, or was that like I swallowed down my emotions related to the family room? So there's something about this, but you don't want to admit that it's in your stomach, that it's in your gut. You just want to stay out of there. You want to stay out of your emotions, as in, not that you don't want to acknowledge you have them, but you just don't want to go there. And you don't want to kind of like really linger there. You don't want to process this in your stomach. It's just welling in your stomach. And it's kind of muted and numb, so it's not like all that noticeable, but this is a big deal thing. We can't go ignoring the stomach stuff. Okay. It's interesting because you're wanting soul fragments and higher self and astral body stuff, and you're wanting all this, and this is what I'm looking at first and foremost. Man. Tight throat here. Is this, I'm not communicating. I'm not talking about what's in my stomach, in my emotional gut. It's tight here, okay? Again, I'm getting a tension headache. That's because the mental body is self-realizing, but it's just tight, and things aren't fluidly moving, and the heart isn't really like, where's the heart at in all of this? We need to start processing more from the heart, because the heart will bring understanding to everybody. It'll help the throat, it'll help the mental body, it'll help the stomach, it'll help everybody. The heart will, because the heart is the access doorway to the higher self. It is the true love, okay, within you. It is the infinite nature that is compassionate and non-judgmental and all that stuff. The mind, though, can be very judgmental. So if we just start putting the mind as the forefront, is like, let's get this stuff in the heart here so we can truly heal. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm making progress. I was like, I can't force you to open up. I can only, you can only feel inspired to open up more and more as you feel comfortable, right? So I'm just sort of hanging out here. Like, you show me this stuff. You want to show me some more stuff? Let's find out some more stuff about you. What is this magical nature girl and the magic of nature. What is this about? Because everything is interconnected. Every one of these details is interconnected. But we're kind of, the nature thing is out on the outside of the family room with the pink elephant in the middle of the room. All this stuff though needs to be more blended, and it needs to be circulating together, not separate. Not want to hush that. I did swallow it. I don't know anything about it. Okay, you looking at it, but I don't know what else to tell you. Don't want to go deeper though. So we're just keeping it like, cozy but uncomfortable at the same time. And so I just like waiting so we can keep moving forward and start to blend all these details together and circulate it. Trying to see what I could do here. I'm going to grow a tree in your stomach. I'm going to plant a seed of white light and love. And this is important because you're asking for, you want to work on love. And I'm working on love too. Like that is like the root thing that every human being needs to work on. We all need to work on it. And it's like a powerful thing to work on. And this seed of white light is a reflection of light and love, okay? And your choice to want to work on love. And I'm going to plant it here in your emotional gut region, okay? Because I want to get love breathing in and out of this space so it can self-realize. Kind of like we're putting a little bit of the heart in here just to help it move along, okay? Planting the seed. I'm going to water the seed with love, okay? We're going to put some sunlight into the dark forest energy that is also kind of connected to this place. It's like the doorway to this place. And so I'm going to bring the sunlight into the magical dark forest and allow that sunlight too to be in the seed, which is sort of planted in this living room as well, simultaneously in also the forest. It's a wise seed. The seed is wise. And the seed knows what to do. The seed is what you could define as programmed. It's like it knows the ingredients. It knows the pathway. It knows how to connect the dots of what this is all about. And so it knows what to do. I'm supposed to tell you that. So the seed is processing and sort of just doing this. But that's sort of a symbol of it's thinking, it's processing, it's expressing this energy, okay? To help all of this energy come into balance with itself. So the seed is helping. Yeah, we're going to see, there is some serious hardcore stuff I can do. The more you open up, the more I can access. And I know that on the conscious level, you're consciously open, okay? But there's parts of you deep down inside that are afraid of looking at their reflection in the mirror. So you make the conscious choice to heal, and then I can access the parts that are pushing away, that are afraid, that are closing the door. And I'm able to get into those places, and we'll slowly get them to feel more confident and more self-expressive. And I'll be able to get into more of your roots, all right? It feels like there's more that I need to do here. And so I'm just going to let this seed do its thing. You could just say it's going, me. It's like bing, 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 bing. It's like vibrating all this energy into the forest and into the family room, okay? So it's doing its thing right now. We'll just let that do its thing. And then I'm going to go do a ninja move, and I'm just gonna like ninja move you in your heart and push out the part of your soul, okay? I don't know why it has to look like this, but that's what it's like. I just go to you and I just ninja move you into the heart, and it pushes out a part of your soul, and I need to go look at this part of your soul. Yeah, okay, this here is way out of tune. How do I begin to work on it? I mean, it's like it's supposed to just push all the way out and then I can talk to it. But it just wants to be stuck in the head, and then the other parts of it come out, so it's just sort of fluttering there like the window curtains, you know? And it doesn't want to stand on its own 2 feet out here and face me. So it's sort of stuck in your head. So it's like got the soul in the head, and then the other part of the body is just sort of fluffing here. And there's a lot of anger, okay? Wow, okay, so I'm just going to keep looking at this until I can figure out what to do next. There's something about using this color. It's kind of teal and purple. And so I'm allowing this color to emanate here around your head. All right, around your neck and shoulders region, and then I'm just letting it flow down into the rest of this sort of astral body emanation, you could call it. Man, is there ever a lot of anger. I'm just going to keep putting the color in and letting the color do its magic. And I'm going to show that the seed of love has been planted. And I'm going to plant a seed of love now in your heart and one in your mind too, okay? And I'm planting seeds of love too in each of your eyes, so your eyes can start to glow. The true love that is yourself, okay? And it glows from your eyes, so people can see the glow in your eyes, okay? Okay, who is the resistor here in all this? Like what where is the resistance? Where is the resistance? Still looking through all of these energies. So you're basically a Siamese twin, like you have one face and then the bodies are connected at the head. And so I'm taking this, I mean, if we laid you on a table, it would be the head and the center and then 2 bodies, okay, lying that in those directions. So I'm just going to take this conglomeration up vibrationally to the next level. Because you're meant to, there's something about you and magical forest that never stops saying magical forest, magical forest, magical forest. So I'm going to take you up vibrationally and we're going to work in a magical forest. And it's going to be loving, full of love and magic and forest energy and nature. And there's going to be forest princess here. Yeah, you don't feel that you're worthy of a place of this kind. It's too special for you. It's too special for you. You say that and it makes me sad because it's not too special for you. And you don't know how to get out of your head, and you don't know how to reconcile the other body, is what you're telling me. And you call yourself a freak, and I guess I'll just be a freak. Forest Princess is smiling at you. I don't know why, but she says, she kind of giggles when you say, I'll just be a freak, and she kind of giggles and says, get out of town. Like she's saying, you're not a freak and stop calling yourself one. You know, you're not a freak. Get out of town. What are you talking about? You're a freak. Get out of town. She's saying that. She's lightening the mood. And whenever you say something kind of sinister and sarcastic, she smiles and says, get out of town with that. Get out of town. She just says, get out of town, but she says it like that. And she giggles. You want to say more sinister things, and you want her to believe that in this reality, this sinister, sarcastic reality. And she keeps giggling and saying, get out of town every time you do it. So you're going to have to say something else if you want her to say something else. So we got to get rid of sarcasm and this. We got to get rid of that type of energetic communication from you. We got to get that out of the sinister sarcasm. Wow, nobody's told you that. And you are totally keep telling me you're joined at the head. And it's like you keep showing me two bodies joined at the head, and you have like another part of you joined at your head, and it's just you're stuck inside your head. And I feel like I'm trying to pull the two apart, and it's like the pieces don't fit. So let's say you put two pieces together and now they're stuck, and you're like, crap, I can't get these two pieces apart, they're stuck. That's what this is like. It's like they are stuck in a way that is not helping to get them unstuck from each other. What am I supposed to say here? Is this like an astral body and your human body? Is this a soul fragment and your human body? Like, I don't know what this is. Is this a twin? Is this what is this? I don't know. Vibrationally, though, this is a problem. We don't need you to feel this way. We don't need you to feel this way. So I got to bring balance to this so that you're free. And we can understand more as that happens. So, okay. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. It's you keep saying it's impossible. I won't be set free. You'll never get us unstuck. She isn't saying get out of town when you say these words, because it's not sinister and sarcastic. You actually do feel this way. This is you speaking honestly. And this gives you a headache too. She's an important component in this. And there's some sort of a sexual energy happening between your head, which is two heads combined, so it's just one head, and it's just a round ball. That's what it looks like. And her. She's just simply standing here. But there is like hardcore like intimacy vibes that are coming in pink waves out of her, and it's towards this round head, all right, which is the heads of these two conjoined twins. Is what it's like, Siamese twins. They're conjoined at the head. So let me see what happens next. So she's taking divine feminine forest magic energy, forest princess energy, and she's actually placing your heads into her divine feminine womb. Not the bodies, just this round ball that which is your head. It looks like the top of a chess piece, just a round ball, like a pawn. All right? So she's just placing that into her divine feminine space, and she is just here in the center. And the bodies are coming out the sides of her. So let's see. She is closing her eyes. She's in meditation. She's like on her knees right now, and she is holding her pregnant belly, and she is singing a song inside of herself of love for you and how beautiful you are and what you mean to her. And she shows me in another world she is stroking the side of your face with tenderness and love, and she's gazing into your eyes. And she's whispering kind things to you. And sometimes you can hear her whispers in the like the rustling of the leaves is what it's like. Her whispers are in the rustling of the leaves. And you will remember her. You do, but you don't let her in fully. You want to let her in, but you don't. And you're hurting inside, in your heart. You are hurting. And you swallow the hurt into your stomach. And then you just don't go there with the emotions. And you just stay in your head. And that's what you do. But she is not going to give up on you, and she's going to work her magic on you so that you can start getting into your heart and that you can start to heal and to know how wonderful you are. Okay. This has been a very long time that she has been singing the sweet song, and the head has been in her womb. And we're talking like a trillion years, a million years. I don't know. It feels like an infinite time space. I don't know how to define time, but it feels like it's been a very long time, and not 100 years, way more than 100 years, thousands of years, that she has been in meditation and waiting for the time to be the right time, kind of thing. And as this happens, I see that your consciousness it's like the bodies are drying up and becoming hard as rocks. And she too is slowly drying up as well. And it's almost becoming a statue of what was, of her and of the two of you that were attached at the head. And how she stayed to heal both of you within her feminine space. And it's all very respectful and sacred and loving. There's nothing creepy here. And she did this in a magical forest because she loves you. So everything falls to sleep in stone. It's a statue, and everything has fallen to sleep in stone. All right. Tightness is happening in the heart and the ears. There's a odd feeling in the ears. Third eye is reacting here. So we just allow the frequencies to have their reactions. You're a really good person. You have a side of yourself that just is so sick and tired of a certain type of feeling or experience, and it just is angry and frustrated. And it takes a very tiny little knife. Like it's like maybe the knife handle is normal, but the blade is literally like this big. And you keep stabbing it into the ground. So it only hurts this much. But you're taking a lot of anger out. And you just keep doing it over and over again. And the ground is you. You're stabbing yourself. But you're only stabbing yourself this much 1 billion times. But you don't want to be like this. You don't want to feel this way. This isn't who you are. It just happens to be the frustration and then what you're going through. And that's the side of yourself that is frustrated and angry and upset. This is all the venting and of what this magical event is all about. And this magical event isn't over yet. It's just simply sleeping in stone. It's going to not sleep in stone forever, but it is right now. So as it sleeps in stone, you're basically take this very unusual knife that's only like hurting you this much kind of thing, stabbing yourself 1 million times, but it will hurt with enough times. You're going to have tiny little cuts all over you. You keep saying, I'm not stabbing myself, I'm just stabbing the ground right now. And I say, but the reality is you are the ground that you're stabbing. So, I'm going to let you be the ground so you can experience what you're taking out on yourself is actually what you're doing. And when I do that, you scream and you say I'm trapped, kind of like I solidified you into the soil and I did a demonic dark ritual. And now you are trapped in the dark soils, being stabbed for eternity. I used dark magic on you. That's what you're saying right now. you're just screaming and screaming, and you're trapped and you can't get out, and you've lost it. You're just in terror. And it's yourself that keeps stabbing the ground, and you are trapped in the ground. But this is important because this is self-realizing frequencies, okay? So I'm just going to slow everything on down so the man with this knife can just stop. I'm just going to stop him. And then the you and the soils, I'm just going to let you have a moment to acclimate to the reality of what this is all about. It's not what it looks like, what it feels like. It's actually something else. It's a self-realizing moment, and it doesn't need to feel like dark magic or a curse or bad luck or anything like that, because it has nothing to do with that. It's one observation, it's one idea of what it might be about, but it has nothing to do with that, actually. It's just simply helping you to understand that when you're taking anger out, you're actually taking it out on yourself. Even if it doesn't feel like it, it really is happening. That's why it's so cool to be human, because we can do whatever we want to those people out there because it's them, it's not us, you know? But any real person out there is actually us too. And when we go to the other side, we can feel the oneness of everything and now understand that, shit, I did that to myself, not to that person who deserved it, but part of them is me too. So you start to understand a different side of the story. It's interesting. But this here is you taking it out on yourself, literally. It's not you taking out another person. It's all internal, self-realizing stuff. It's all about you. It's not about other people right now. Okay. So you tell me that you just want to die in the soil since you've been buried alive. You might as well die here. That way you've had a proper burial. You've been buried alive with a proper burial. You might as well die too. While we're at it, kill two birds with one stone kind of thing. It's like a sinister joke. And you want to die. But you don't decompose, you don't die, you just like live in a dark soils. That's it. You just sort of linger in the dark soils. And that's all. Like you don't fight for your right. You don't you just let this happen. It surprises me. I'm gonna put I'm gonna brighten the seeds within you so you can remember who you are, so you can wake up to the love and within yourself, so you can find the strength to understand your purpose and your place. And being buried alive is not your purpose and your place. It's one idea, it's one way that you could feel, but it's not you truly honing into what you are and what you're capable of. That's just feeling the human experience and getting lost in it. You just start to cry in the soils, but you're starting to glow brighter from the inside. And the glow is what changes the part that I stalled out with the knife. And he starts to wake up. He puts the knife down and he starts to try to dig you up or to unbury you. We're looking at twins again, twin brothers. And it's all you. It's very interesting. And he's trying to help you. And you're glowing bright, and he's starting to remember who you are, which is also him remembering who he is. And you're the part of himself that he lost, the part of himself that had died, so to speak. Nothing ever really dies. It just might appear to be asleep for a while. It always comes back, eventually. He is stressing out because he can't get to you. The soils have hardened in a way that they've basically turned to like a material, like a plastic. like a bulletproof glass or something. Like he can't reach you in there. And this is really upsetting him. And I say, just calm down now. I'm gonna, I lay him down. So actually, you're laying down with your head away and your feet. And then there's his feet. And then there's his head. So circles at the ends and then a straight line. And that would be like the body and the heads, okay? And so I lay him down above the surface of the ground. And you're laying down the opposite direction below the surface of the ground. And I'm telling him to remember the seeds of light and love within you. And I'm helping them to glow bright. Very exhausting. You feel like a part of you is missing. Like a part of you is missing, and your heart aches. And you'll never get him back. Man, does your heart ache and your stomach hurts right now. Your throat is bothering you and your head has got a lot of tension. This doesn't surprise me because of how you've been working with energy. You're resisting feeling this stuff and letting these stuff be felt and express itself through energy of this kind. And now you're kind of opening this up. And so there's a lot happening here. Exhaustion. A lot of exhaustion. And the stomach is aching. Stomach feels gross, doesn't feel good. The heart feels heavy. But we're starting to feel the stomach. We're starting to feel the heart. This is progress. It just didn't want to go there before. Now it's going there. Wow, your head is sending a lot of energy down, okay? Remember you were saying, I'm hurt in the core, and it's dark in the core of you, and this is all this stuff right now that we are illuminating, okay? We're bringing light to all of this stuff, so it's gonna have to have a resuscitation experience of coming back to life, and it feels like raising the dead within you, and so it doesn't feel good, it feels achy. Like a body that hasn't been moved around in a while. So, very disoriented in your head. And you start to fall asleep. And as you fall asleep, you start to actually be absorbed into the ground. And you're feet to feet with your brother, who is sleeping comfortably, actually. You're not sleeping well at all. It's like you're kind of having a very uncomfortable rest. Okay, this is like some sort of nightmare. And you're waking up and you're sweating profusely. And you don't know what's happened or happening, like what is happening or what has happened. It's confusing and it's dark all around and it's scary. It feels like you were traipsing around the astral cemetery and it scared the living daylights out of you. But what you're looking for is your dead brother. That's literally, I don't know how you're going to translate this exactly, but that is what this is. When I see it, he's your brother. And he's also you. He's also a part of you that died, okay? Or there's something weird about the Siamese twins here and she's healing your heads in her womb. Like there's something going on here. So I am telling you, what is it that you're going to find lost in the dark that isn't already there with you? And you're not acknowledging that it's already inside yourself. You're saying that it was lost. And once you say it is lost, it is not a part of you anymore. However, the riddle is, it always is a part of you. So what do we need to do to help alter your energetic perspective from it's lost out there to it's been found within myself? So we need to shift. We need to have a shift in consciousness. That way you can feel like you have found yourself and you will feel like yourself, okay? I'm just going to glow the seeds within you again because you're still panting and you're having like you just woke up straight out of bed from a scary dream. And you're still sweating and panting. And so I'm just relaxing you and glowing the seeds bright within you. And it's calming you. And you say, Abby, why does it have to be so hard? And I say, one thing I encourage you to do as best as you can is just slow down as best as you can. Because I know when life gets hard, it's because we're getting too in our minds and we're getting too wound up and we're getting ahead of ourselves. So we need to slow down and we need to actually step back, which isn't stepping into the past at all. It's just you push yourself into some version of the future that isn't actually there yet. And then you're getting wound up with time. So we need to step back into the present is basically it. So I'm going to slow you down, step you back into the present because there's something wound up and you're not in the right frequency of what now is. So I'm going to slow you down so it doesn't feel like it's so hard, okay? Wow. You got some really interesting stuff here. Okay. Oh boy. All right, so I do this, all right? So I'm bringing you back into the now, all right? Even after the scary dream, you're waking up, I'm glowing the seeds. You're saying, why does it have to be so hard? I'm experiencing, well, you're kind of wound up and you're not really in the now because you're kind of pushed into some awkward version of the future, but it's not. It's really weird. So I'm just going to bring you back to now. And when I did that, everything of your reality broke apart and is just sort of floating in the ethers. So this is like balancing and fine-tuning your harp-strings. It's like I bring balance and then it shows me another discord, okay? So I'll bring balance to this one and then it might show me another discord. It's like, well, I just got to keep going through fine-tuning this until it starts to be stable, okay, and consistent. So let's see. What does this mean? You're floating out in the ethers of the void. Is this like an astral thing? I don't know, but you're just floating in the nothingness. But there's pieces of your room, which are kind of like pieces of you, that are just sort of floating out. It's just sort of suspended in space. But there's no stars out here. And you want to just know where your home is. You just want to know where your home is. And I'm going to ask this part of you, I'm going to say, what is it that you're running away from? What is it? Because you got a really wound up thing and it just can't unwind and just get solid. It's just this right here is really shaky and flighty, okay? It's like it's actually kind of scared. Feels scared about what it doesn't understand. I'm just going to clear all of this out. Believe it or not, things are relaxing on their own. And a room is appearing around you, and you're just in the center of basically a white cube, but it's a room. And it's kind of really super light pink. And you're just standing there, just standing still in this big white cube. And you're kind of in a hypnotic daze, hypnotic trance. And you just suddenly turn to one of the corners of the cube and just walk like you're sleepwalking, but you know exactly where you're going. and a door opens in the corner of a cube, and a staircase develops going downward. So you follow the stairs down, and then the stairs kind of turn a little bit, so you just go down those stairs. And now the stairs turn again, and then you go down those stairs some more. This is seriously heavy. You just keep going, like it turns, go down the stairs, it turns, you go down the stairs, it turns, you go down the stairs, you turns, you go down the stairs. This is getting very, very dense. Okay. Let's just keep going down there. And I tell you just keep going down there, however deep you need to go. Help me find this place. Man, I'll tell you what, this is extremely dense energy. It's very exhausting. I'm just gonna go down here for a little bit. Okay. I'm just gonna stand next to him. I'm just gonna soften everything. From where, as far up as we've come all the way down here, we're just gonna soften it all up, okay? And just turning it all into soft feather pillows, okay? Just soft feathers. It's really light and airy in here. It's really soft and light and airy. It's not dense. Again, there's anger that's coming out. We're sort of sitting on the steps right now. You just wonder when it will ever end. I say it ends right now. Because you need to stop saying, when will it ever end? You need to start saying it has already ended. What is it that you're trying to, what place are you trying to get to? What idea, what completion? What is your idea of finalization? You need to let that go. Any idea of what finalizes things or completes things, you need to let that go. Because you need to acknowledge right now that everything is complete. Even if it feels life is shitty in all these different ways and it's not the way I wanted it to be, and I'm working really hard to reconcile all this so I can live the life I want to live, stop waiting for the future to come when you can finally live the life you want to live. You need to just start living that life right now and saying, I've made it to the life that I want to live right now. Because this is the life you wanted to live. Otherwise, it wouldn't have manifested like this. It's exactly as you always wanted it to be. You can argue with me all you want, but beneath the layers of consciousness that is going to argue with this is actually the reality that it is exactly the way it's meant to be, and there's nothing else you have to get to. There's no amount of time, 10 years down the road, no idea of what a perfect life is that is going to create that reality for you. You need to create it right now. You already are there. You have finally reached this point. Okay. You grow really sharp nails and you start clawing at me, and you tell me, no, I haven't. I'm saying, yes, you have. And I look into your eyes and I say, yes, you have gotten there. You're already there. And the minute you say that is the minute everything in your life changes. This is hard because you're led to believe in certain things, that anybody should be led to believe that it could be a good world. You know, you're a kid growing up, like it's a good world that you live in. You believe this. And as you get older, you start to realize it's not so good of a world, and it's confusing now. And we're all trying to get to a better world someday. But we'll be climbing that ladder for the rest of our lives. So we just work with the way that it is right now. And this is exactly as it's meant to be. And I'm telling you, it helps when things get wound up like this to bring it back into balance. It helps. You have this wise side of yourself, and you stand up. You're not clawing me anymore, and you manifest a doorway, and you open the door and you walk up the dark stairs, but the stairs go upward, and you say, Abby, I'm ready to do anything else now. I don't want to get to the bottom of this anymore. I'm just going to walk up these stairs. And I say, well, if there's one place you could go to, it'd be really nice for you to walk back to where they fell asleep in the stone. I'd really like to know more about that. What do you think? I'm placing this image of what I saw into this part of you's heart, and let's see what he does. He stops walking up the stairs, and his eyes get really big, and his mouth is like, oh, wow, I forgot about that. Whoa. He's startled. He's still in shock right now. But something is changing inside of himself. And he's remembering. He's finding a way to go back to this moment in time, into the magical forest. But he's not waking up within this sort of stone structure. He's walking through the woods, and he's reaching this sort of rounded open space where this had happened so long ago. And he goes to the forest princess, and she's made of stone. And he gives her a hug, and he sheds tears upon the stone. And her heart starts to glow. And all the stone starts to turn into kind of like a Play-Doh-like substance, but it's turning into more of a liquid too, as it starts to melt off. She says, I knew you would come back to me when the time was right. I knew you would come back. She's ready to, the heads of these two twins actually, they are meant to dissolve into the ground, and it was the heads that remained within her, and the heads were merged as one head, right? And that head turned into a baby inside of herself, and she's ready to give birth now. And the two of you are excited to be parents, and this image has so much meaning in it. She's delivering a baby. I see then she's delivered the baby, and you're holding the baby right now. And it's a mysterious baby. Like I don't know what gender it is. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know. I just see kind of the form of a baby in your arms. And she's here with you. And the love balances you. It centers your gravity. It creates a through the center of your core too, like it creates light. And the light shines, it's almost like the spinal column, but it's shining from in the center of you, and it shines straight backward and straight forward. And I'm waiting for it to shine above and below, and then in all sacred directions. It hasn't quite done that yet, but it's on its way. Yeah, you're starting to glow really bright. This is strange, but it's almost like you're holding yourself in your own arms. And somehow you go into a trance and you fall backward. And some sort of magic is happening here. And this newborn baby is placed within your heart. She smiles at you while you are lying down, and she actually turns into energy and merges with you. And she fills you with the divine feminine light, and it's pure love. This is interesting, but you start to become part of the earth, and it's almost like you're starting to become a bright seed in the earth, and you're starting to grow into a healthy, strong tree. Not a stump of a tree, the tree that got cut down, but a tree that is growing fresh and new and bright and bold and strong and magical. And a lot of time passes, and this tree is a wise tree. I mean, it doesn't look like all the other trees. It grew unique. And it reminds me of kind of an old storyteller. Kind of like a Gandalf the Grey, but more of a storyteller than a wizard. And he smokes a long pipe. And he gets lost in his smoke and his stories. But the stories inspire people to feel a rustling within themselves, and it's a part of her whisper that is speaking through you, and people feel it. This is bringing everything into balance. I'm just going to linger in here for a little bit longer. There's so many nooks and crannies that we could explore. What is my explanation for what any of this means? It's bringing balance to your dynamic soul with love and rebirthing you and helping you to grow strong and sturdy and grounded and aware of your wise self, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, blended together as one beautiful expression of love. A wholeness. Helping you to feel that you have gotten a part of yourself back. All right, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect here from your spiritual atmosphere and come back into myself. Wow, this is super cool and different. Thank you so much for sharing this with everybody. This is really neat. And for those of you watching, if any of you are interested in exploring a session with me, please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you all for watching, and I wish you all a wonderful day.